Well, we made it to Galt, California. And yeah, I mean it's about what I expected. I'm a little later than I would have normally wanted to be. I slowed down a bit because if you can see the temperature actually decreased a decent amount. And I only charged to basically 80%, but not really even quite 80%. So I only had 160 miles of estimated range. Now, again, this is up to your comfort level. I don't mind dipping down this low. I found GM's guessometer to be very, very accurate, as long as you're just kind of paying attention. And something else, and I'm not gonna pick on that lady too much. The one who had the kind of ordeal of a journey. She had mentioned she has a bit of a lead foot. Well, uh, yeah, that's gonna eat up a lot of range. Now I'm making a choice on this, right? I chose to basically drive the posted speed limit. So I was only doing like 65 to 67 miles an hour when it was posted, and just basically 70 even when it was posted 70. Now she was talking about going 85. Well, that's kind of your choice, but just know that if you do that, you're going to need to stop more often, more frequently. You're going to be able to go shorter distances on the amount that you charge. So for me, I'm willing to slow down a little bit. So basically, all told, this is going to be, just short of a 500-mile run. And I started with a full charge, and I'm only going to need to stop twice. Now, uh, on this one, I could get away with only stopping for a half hour, and actually might as well go ahead and get this charge started. Make sure this charger actually works. But I know how far I have to go, and I could actually make it on the amount that I could charge in just 30 minutes. But like I said before, I actually don't have anything faster than 120 volt where I'm going. So, it's not going to do me any good if, at least this is a more well lit parking lot, but it's not going to do me any good if I get up there and I'm completely empty because it'll take all weekend to recharge. So we should be down to like 4-ish, 5-ish% probably. It's good that I'm allowed to start charging. That's very nice. Yeah, so yeah, pretty close. I've been down this low before. uh, so I'll go ahead and charge here. Yeah, and there's a nice little mini mart over there. I guess this is normally like a Rayleigh's when it's open. There's a lot of stuff around here. Um, McDonald's off in the distance, and Jack in the Box, and places to eat. But overall, one of the um, better lit chargers. And let's see, I can never get the lighting right on this, but yeah, you'll have to trust me. It's 125 amp, so this will be charging relatively quickly. And yeah, so from here, like I said, I only have another 100 and something miles to go, about 120 miles to go. So, this is saying if I want to get to 80%, it'll take till 12:30. And, I've noticed that this will also sort of revise those numbers a bit. So I wouldn't take that to heart. But yeah, so here it is. It's charging at a 42 kilowatts right now. So even at a 4% state of charge, it's charging at a 42. So not bad on 125 amps, but it's about the oh yes, thank you. Propulsion power is reduced. It is. Yes. Anyway, so I'll go ahead and reset after this. Like I said, I think it's like 120 miles left. Probably won't be that big of a deal. Though the temperatures where I'm going, it could drop actually another 25 to 30 degrees feasibly. So, really? Really? I'll get right on that. Sometimes I wonder. Anyway, all right, I'm going to go see if I can use the bathroom and figure out what I'm going to do for the next probably 45 minutes to an hour if I decide to charge that long. All right, guys. Okay, so the charge just ended. Yes, I'm eating chocolate chip cookies. Not much else to do. 11 o'clock at night in the middle of Galt, California. But so it looks like it went from 4% to 38% and 22 kilowatt hours delivered. So these 125 amp chargers seem to be fairly consistent in the amount of charge that they provide, especially below 55% state of charge. They tend to pretty consistently provide 22 kilowatt hours of energy in about 30 minutes. So let's see if I... But I'm up to about 90 miles of estimated range last time I checked. So that's not quite enough to get me home, but at the same time, like this session should be, by the time we say get up to 60% state of charge or so, it should be pretty easy for me to get back. So I'll check in one more time when this session is done. It says it still has an hour to get to 80%, but gas stations. Yeah, it says it has about a half hour more to charge to 80%, but I don't know. We'll see. 45 minutes. So, all right. Okay. Well, this session stopped, so that was another 30 minutes. But notice for this one, it ended just after the taper down to 25 kilowatts occurs. So it was charging at an average rate of about 40 kilowatts. So still not bad, but kind of gives a little bit more insight. I actually might go all the way up to 80%. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to charge when I'm back at home other than 120. So, I could either kill 15 minutes now or do it later. Basically, everything after this is unnecessary to get where I'm going. It's just a means to, save time and electricity when I'm up there. But yeah, this is only 25 kilowatts at this point, so it'll be a little while. I'm probably only going to stay for another 10, 15 minutes. Uh, my map says I have another 2 hours to get back. Um, that seems a little bit long, but I am coming from the far side of Sacramento. Sacramento usually only takes about an hour and a half to get there, so that might be right. But that means that this whole trip, and we can verify it, even though I stayed a little bit longer, the whole trip is 10 hours to basically go 450, 460 miles. So it's still in keeping. with the average speed that I've seen using these chargers, which is the Bolt EV um, on these trips seems to average about um, 45 to 50 miles per hour, depending. Like I said, I haven't been super efficient. It would have been faster to make, say, two, like at least 1 to 2 extra stops and only, time it so I'm only stopping uh, for the lower, 55% and just stopping for 30 minutes. But anyway, um, I'm not gonna chime in to see how much is well, maybe I will. I'll go ahead and also show when I end this session, and it probably will be about 12 minutes. Like I said, I'll just let it get to 80% and then show based on the timer below how many kilowatt hours has been delivered, but it should be pretty close to the standard um, 24. All right, well, I'm about to just shut off this charge. As you can see, I stayed a little bit longer. Um, I'm running the heater now because it, sort of takes advantage of the excess power from the tower, or at least the defroster to just keep the windows clear. Um, I can go ahead and, um, well, it's 1 minute to 80%, but I don't know that it really matters. I'll just go ahead and stop it now. So shut it down. Shut it down, Tina Fey style. And let's see. So, yeah, and then 16 minutes it delivered 7 kilowatt hours. So, that's a little less than 28, probably like 20, 25, 26 kilowatt hours, or kilowatt average rate. So, all right, well, I'm going to head out. It's about 2 hours to get home. So, ugh. We have arrived. So I'm home now. Window's starting to fog up. And it didn't drop down too much. It got down to like 43 or something, but not until really late. Most of this drive was at um, about 55 degrees temperature. Um, the 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. That's because it was mostly 70 miles an hour and about a 1,500 foot elevation increase. So I mean that's kind of to be expected. Anyway, it's getting kind of late, so uh, all told, it's just over about 10 hours. By the time I had left work, it was about 4:15. Um, so you're looking at about a 47 mile average trip speed, which again is kind of in keeping. This wasn't exactly ideal charging cycles or anything. You can just kind of see the most recent efficiency. So yeah, pretty much low efficiency coming up a hill, and overall negative 3.1 on the score. Yeah, my technique's been sucking, whatever that means. But again, so this is just kind of the point that, well, I guess I'm beating a dead horse at this point. But this is a significantly longer journey than that the one lady that submitted her trip report to Green Car Reports or whatever. And I did it in two more or less 1 hour stops. So basically you're also looking at about, for me anyway, about $15 worth of electricity. So not so bad. And but anyway, so yeah, that's kind of it. All right.